Welcome back to the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday episodes. I'm your host, Aman Carney, and to everyone's surprise, I'm still talking about football because there's still insane headlines, a lot of news to talk about. Still, are the Ravens maybe the best team in the NFL? It goes back to the Ravens Eagles conversation we had during the first time we posted the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday episodes. But in this way, we cover all the sports content for you guys, shorts daily on TikTok, YouTube, the 40, 50-minute episodes on Spotify and Apple exclusively every Saturday. And then you got obviously the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday episodes exclusively here on YouTube. Thank you guys for the support. You're killing it. We really appreciate it. But without further ado, Mac Jones, we haven't talked about the Patriots much because they're having a down year. And once Christian Gonzalez and Matthew Judon went down, people thought, all right, the Patriots are done for sure. It's not like they were going anywhere anyways, but you can't point to the defensive side of the ball. I feel like it's definitely an offensive issue, whether that's play calling. Matt Patricia is still affiliated with, I believe, the offensive side of the ball. Someone fact check me there. I'm not sure. But, you're asking a defensive minded dude to have something to do with the offense. And then you got Bill O'Brien, the offensive coordinator, yelling at Mac Jones. I get coaches are passionate. Over in the NBA, we saw Mike Brown yelling at Malik Monk. That's good coaching. But when you're kicking a guy that's already down, how do you insist on starting him and then benching him for a fourth time? That does more to his mental health than if you were just straight up with him and say, yeah, I'm starting Bailey Zapp over you. I'm going to bench you. Obviously, that's going to suck, but it hurts even more when you start him, he doesn't do well, and then you bench him again. I feel like the mental health of certain athletes has to be cared about by certain teams because I get the Patriot way, whatever, Bill Belichick this, Bill Belichick that, but when you're disregarding a guy's mental health and kicking him when he's still down, then what do you expect out of him? And I feel like with the injuries to Christian Gonzalez and Matthew Judon, you can't point to the defensive side of the ball because they're still not allowing many points. And if you're still losing when your opponent scores 10 points, then you can only point to the offensive side of the ball. Whether that's Belichick's fault, Robert Kraft's fault, even Bill O'Brien's fault, Matt Patricia. Something has to change. You let go of Jacoby Myers because you didn't want to pay him, and then you give Juju Smith-Schuster the same exact contract Jacoby Myers got, and Juju's not panning out. You got Devontae Parker. You have okay weapons. You have Mike Gesicki, Hunter Henry. I don't know. That was confusing because Mike Gesicki, he's a great tight end. Honestly, I don't know why he even signed with the Patriots to begin with, to be honest, because they already had Hunter Henry. So it's a very confusing offense they're trying to run, and their play calling, I feel like, whether that's a change of Bill Belichick or bringing Josh McDaniels back to help Mac Jones, because Mac Jones actually played in a Pro Bowl once upon a time, believe it or not. Whether that was an injury replacement doesn't matter, but the fact that he was there means he did pretty good. And so you got that going. And it's just unfortunate because Mac Jones is not put in a position to succeed with the Patriots. And obviously, he's still young, struggling. Troy Aikman struggled his first few seasons, whatever. But I feel like it's Juju's not panning out. That's fine. But at some point, you got to make a change, whether that's a front office, head coaching change. It's not a good look for Bill Belichick when Tom Brady goes out, wins his first ring without Bill Belichick the season after he leaves. The Patriots, of course, for the Buccaneers, wins it in his first season as a Buccaneer. But it's not a good look for Belichick when that happens and this happens. And to everyone's surprise, you draft N'Keal Harry over Debo Samuel, DK Metcalf, and A.J. Brown. I mean, my God, maybe Mac Jones wouldn't struggle as much. You damn sure would win more games if you had gotten A.J. Brown, Debo Samuel, or DK Metcalf because you traded N'Keal Harry to the Bears, I believe. I don't even think he's doing much there. So whether it's play calling, whether it's an actual player's fault, I don't think it's Mac Jones' fault because he's literally years removed from a Pro Bowl because that means you have to have been doing something right. You have Ramondre Stevenson, Ezekiel Elliott. You don't have a running back issue. I feel like play calling issue. Like try to bring back Josh McDaniels because Mac Jones thrived with him. And you don't kick a player when he's down. I get you're trying to be passionate, but you just don't do that. At least be straight up and honest with him. That's my take on the whole Patriots situation. And I mean, the Eagles Ravens debate. The Ravens, Isaiah Likely, pretty good replacement for Mark Andrews. But the Ravens aren't missing a beat. The Jaguars' statement win against the Texans, their divisional rivals. CJ Stroud still had such an amazing game. If the Texans make the playoffs, definitely an MVP conversation. Tyreek Hill's not even slowing down one bit. And again, MVP shouldn't be a quarterback award. If you take CJ Stroud off the Texans aren't doing much. I feel like we can all agree on that because we have data to prove that. If Tyreek Hill is off the Dolphins, Tua might be looking like an average quarterback. That's my take. That might not be true because obviously Jalen Waddle would still be on that team, but Tyreek Hill is averaging historic numbers. AJ Brown before the last couple of weeks averaging historic numbers. Like again, if Tyreek Hill wasn't doing as great, AJ Brown would be the offensive player of the year. So Tyreek Hill, I feel like we all agree has that award on locks. Christian McCaffrey, is he in line for MVP? Like MVP award is so wide open this year that I would like CJ Stroud to win it. Jalen Hurts is looking like the leader right now. Like it changes every single week. And McCaffrey has a great game and Jalen Hurts has an average game next week, then I feel like the conversation shifts to should Christian McCaffrey be the MVP? And I mean, that Eagles Niners game, I'm sure we're going to cover it over the next week or so multiple times in these episodes and over on Spotify and Apple. But already trash talk starting to happen. I saw Reddit started that, kicked it off in style. But right now, I got to change my opinion from that Eagles Ravens episode because the Eagles are clearly looking like the best team in the NFL right now with an amazing overtime win over the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen sort of struggling most of the season, but that defense is just depleted. I don't know what you expect Josh Allen to do because, I mean, your offense can be elite, but when your defense isn't really doing much, then I feel like at some point the finger should be pointed to the defense. But Josh Allen, it's sort of true that he plays to the level of his opponents. And so he played like the elite quarterback we all know he is, to be honest, against the Eagles and then subpar against like the Broncos, even. So, I mean, that's just my take on that situation. You can't, this is recency bias. Yes, Josh Allen definitely has to fix his knack for throwing interceptions because he's led the league. He's sort of Jameis Winston, but with a better arm, better everything else. That's, I mean, he's throwing interceptions at an alarming rate. But for the Eagles, they struggled in the red zone to start the season. But man, the brotherly shove is the most unstoppable play. And that's why he's getting these rushing touchdowns. Like, it's not a knock to Jalen Hurts. But when you see these historic rushing touchdown stats from Jalen Hurts, like, how many of them are just 1 yard touchdown? Opposed to like what Cam Newton did, what Colin Kaepernick did, what Michael Vick did, what Lamar Jackson is doing. So that's not a knock on Jalen Hurts. He can definitely run. I mean, he ran for that touchdown. That's like a legit rushing touchdown to win the game against the Bills. And so that's not a knock on him. The Eagles have all the weapons in the world. It's going to be a movie against the Niners. We'll make our predictions later on this week, so stay tuned for that. I mean, as for the Niners, just stay healthy, and then it's literally going to be an Eagles-Niners rematch in the NFC, and then the AFC is clearly wide open. But, I mean, stay tuned this week for more Niners-Eagles coverage from our end. Make sure to tune into the shorts daily on YouTube or TikTok, or if you like listening to longer episodes on Spotify and Apple, make sure to tune in every Saturday. Thank you for listening.